Ciao, this is Davide Biocchi speaking, and this is my weekly intermarket analysis. Let's start with the euro dollar as usual. As we can see, we have seen recently the breakout of this downtrend line that caused immediately a strong recovery by the euro. So the market arrived around 1.037, that is, and still remain the present level where the market is, let's say, going around. And next one could be, in this case, this 1.017 around here. And then this is a very important. And then there will be another one around here, around 1.06. So these are, in my opinion, the levels. On the other side, we have the price around the parity, so around here, that will work as a support if the market will come back. This is exactly what is in between, and let's see also the impact that the price, the dollar price has on the commodities. So let's start with the gold. The gold is doing really good after, let's say, a short period below the level of 1,680 that for a long time worked as a main support after the COVID. We have seen a new low here around 1,620 that worked 3 times. And then there was a reaction, price above this level and also above the price of 1,730. And strictly going toward the price of 1,815, that more or less is the resistance here. In the meanwhile, the market reacted, came back, doing a pullback, and then right now moving up again. Why is the gold growing? This is because the dollar is weaker than before, and also because the yield of a T-note, the 10-year Treasury bond is going down, and the dollar is the gold is an alternative for the bonds, and especially it works better when the yield goes down. So this is why the gold is doing good recently. And what about the crude oil? Well, the crude oil is not doing good, especially because we have riots in China against the lockdown. And so, let's say, investors think that something could happen and China can use less oil. And that's why the price went below the support of $76. Let's say this was a breakout, let's say, happening in the last days, and some analysts are, let's say, convinced that the price could go even down more and more, reaching the price of $61 per barrel that you can easily see here. So this breakout could be a trick to let the crude oil going down here. That's interesting for sure. What about the stock indices? Well, Europe is still overperforming the USA indices. So this is the DAX, very close to the area that we have in between 14,800 to 15,000. This is a quite relevant level, not only because it's a resistance, but also because the moment in which the price were in between this level and 16,300, so the record highs, was, let's say, something that we can call a different era. So price went below this level, then reacted down here, and then down. Okay, so having the price back here means that the market is thinking or planning to do an attempt maybe to enter the previous era, but this is probably in my opinion, very difficult. So that's why I am in the process to consider this reaction of the market, this recent rally, very close to the end. But obviously, this is my personal opinion. So a quite similar situation that we have seen on the DAX, and let's say copied that the Europe is recently stronger than USA. We have a very similar situation here, where 3,980 to 4,000 are, let's say, the same level that we have seen a few minutes ago on the DAX. But what about US indices? Well, if we consider the S&P Obviously, the chart is really different. We are still in the process to see this downtrend line here, okay? And if the market will violate this, probably two targets are behind the corner. The first one is 4,150, and maybe next one could be 4,300. That is more or less the sky of this range, where the floor is around 3,600 and the sky is 4,300. So these 700 points that the S&P 500 is doing up and down since June. So this is what is happening here. And in my opinion, we are very close to see something interesting, especially because during this week we have a lot of data, scheduled data. We have the ISM index, we have the payrolls on Friday and the unemployment, and we have also the GDP on Thursday and the ADP and the jobs, the jobs opening. So this is really a complicated week from the side of macroeconomic data that will, let's say, give us back a more clear situation about the US economy, and this will have an impact in the market. So let's see. Let's say quite different is also the situation that we have on the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq was and still is the most impacted index by this, let's say, situation, and the Nasdaq and its prices are now again very close to the level of 11,700. That is working as support or resistance. Let's say it depends from which part you try to approach this level. And in my opinion, this is a quite relevant level. Below this, we still will be in this area that we'll see probably another test of the minimum around here. Otherwise, we can even try and attempt to go above to see our other very interesting prices above. Let's say this is again something that we will discover probably starting this week, and in the period from here to the December 14th, when we will have the President Powell, Chairman Powell speech to let us know what is in the mind of the Federal Reserve. So thank you very much for being here. This is Davide Biocchi from Italy. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.